I was in, I think, 7th grade, like late middle school, might have been 8th grade or something. Although I'd be surprised if it was in 8th grade, because by 8th grade, I was really enough of a square that there's no way I was smoking pot.
No way you had friends.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. I'd lost my friends. They'd all, this is kind of sad, they'd all started smoking pot. So
you lost
a few.
Pot.
Brunch, hit it, boys! So you mean to tell me that the fella in the weed smoking meme that's roughly, I don't know, like 4 or 5 days old, that's Elon Musk?
That sure is Elon Musk.
I had no idea. Yes. I was just telling you that, like, in typical Brave Dave fashion, I've just, like, in the last day or two, started to really like that meme.
Yep.
Now that it's kind of dying down. And you told me that it's Elon Musk.
Yep, it's Elon Musk on Joe Rogan's podcast. They were smoking a fat doobie, and Joe Rogan lit it up and was like, hey, you probably can't take a hit of this, right? It's you got shareholders and stuff. You're like a very influential person. And he was like, making faces.
That was some cool faces he was
making some faces, and he was like, well, it's legal in California, right? And they're like, yep. And he's like, all right, pass it here. And then he fucking rips a long drag and just immediately exhales the most smoke you've ever seen in your life.
Right. There's never been more smoke around somebody smoking weed ever. Like in those like early 90s.
Absolutely ridiculous face.
Yeah. Like in the 90s rap videos, there was always kind of smoke going on, but they had to be pumping in smoke machines because typically, like when the people smoke a doobie, they hold it in, obviously, a little bit. But that was just like, yeah.
He was like doing it for dramatic effect.
Yeah. So I did not know that was Joe Rogan. Even though I saw the video, I guess I was just paying attention to the other guy, who I also didn't know was Elon Musk. Is that kind of a hardo move, having somebody on your podcast and then just kind of like lighten up in front of them to see what they do with it? If I went on a podcast or something and they did something like that, I would be
right, because we're
annoyed.
not drug guys. So if we went on somebody's podcast and they just lit up in front of us and they were like, "Hey, you want a hit of this?"
Yeah,
that's sort of like peer pressure. You seem not cool if you say no.
Yeah,
but we could easily just be like, "Well, we're a very anti-drug podcast."
I would be pretty mortified. Like I was talking about, there's a guy that's on the radio in Boston. And sometimes he likes to play up like how well he does with the chickadees, which couldn't be us. Yeah. And they did some sort of segment, and a girl asked him what his favorite sexual position was, and he was a little like kind of flustered.
Ooh.
And we were debating like normally if you're on the radio doing like a sports thing and someone's like, "Hey, sex stuff, let's talk about it. Give me some details."
Yeah.
I would be flustered as fuck because I didn't bring that up. But if you're kind of if you're wading in those waters, that's going to come. This guy, Elon Musk, I can't imagine was talking about
weed.
I was going to say blazing doobies because that's the only term that we have for weed apparently. About puffing the fat.
That dude has definitely
jazz cigarettes.
Yeah, I don't think that guy smokes very much based on his reaction from his puff. He had like the most like, this is
there were some great memes to come from it though. The best one was Seinfeld 2000.
Yes.
Imagine if Seinfeld on today takes the hit, makes the face, Jerry get on
yes, the best. I cannot wait for this podcast to become like a absolute stoner podcast. Because,
it's going to.
Right, because we come around on everything.
Yes. The rule of brunch. It's going to try.
We always take a hard 180 on every topic that we discuss.
Another thing off of that, I'm always impressed. I honestly can't tell you the last time I was around somebody puffing a joint, which is like a cigarette,
a marijuana
made out of marijuana.
I love the term marijuana cigarette because it's only used by people that
who
are
have
like
never
the oldest,
smoked marijuana cigarettes.
People,
yeah. People who say marijuana cigarette have tried marijuana once. Like, because people who don't smoke pot at least probably know a little bit about pot. I think that it's like once you've smoked pot once and then have never done it again, you know less about pot than anybody who just like casually watches TV.
Well,
and
it kills
sees
your brain
depicted.
cells. The pot kills your pot brain cells.
That's true. So at some point you knew like
more you
a
smoke
casual
pot.
amount, and then you smoked pot once, lost all those brain cells, and you've completely forgotten about pot. Yeah. What was I going to say though? Like when I see somebody like in that video smoking a joint, I'm always floored because I could not tell you the last time I saw somebody smoke a marijuana cigarette. Like at one point, I want to say, like when I was like 2 years out of college, I smoked marijuana because my friend had it from a pipe that they called a bowl.
Yes.
I did that, but since then, I would honestly say in the last 5 years,
I'm not a fan of bowls.
I have not seen a bowl or I have not seen,
I've seen a bowl
any marijuana
recently.
apparatus other
Really?
than a pen,
Yeah.
because everything's just a pen now.
Do you think that the
and now no one even technically smokes pot because it's just a pen.
Yeah. Do you think that that like paraphernalia is going to become obsolete? I don't think so. I think that's like half the fun of pot for a lot of people.
Like,
it's just like testing out the paraphernalia and all that. So, there is like, I mean, you definitely do get higher, like on certain
From different ones?
Yeah, like I did like a bong a couple times in college.
Yeah.
And,
Is that the highest one?
I mean, for me, I like completely blacked out
When
those days.
So man, you want a good deterrent from pot? The first time I smoked pot, I think I was in 7th grade. It was from a bong, and it was with two of my friends. One who did it pretty regularly, one who was kind of getting into it,
Yeah.
and me who was like, they knew. I was like, I am doing this because I have to. It's part of my life. I have to smoke. Like, I am not a drug guy. Already very on brand as a 7th grader. I was the fucking kid from It. You know, the kid who looks like an investment banker?
The kid who has like a toiletry bag everywhere he goes filled with medicine.
Right,
And,
the 8-year-old kid with a 401k. I was that kid. I was like, this is not going to be a part of my life, but you're supposed to try it at some
the
point.
kid with the CVS pharmacy frequent flyer card.
Yes. I'm going to start calling it that. When I'm going to be like, you know what? I left my frequent flyer card at home. Can I? You know what I do, by the way?
What?
I just put in my mom's phone number.
Yeah, same.
And they're like, she's got a card. They're like, hey, are you woman's name? I'm like,
Yep.
yes.
You have
Why?
something to say about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the biggest scam running is like you can literally anybody can use
If
somebody's
you know a
CVS
phone
card.
number,
Yeah.
then they're
If you
like,
know any phone number in the world.
yeah. And then they're like, wait, this is a woman's name. I'm like, yeah, it's my
It's
ex-wife.
2018.
Yeah.
It's my first ex-wife.
That's my first ex-wife. What was I going to say? Yeah, so like I was in, I think, 7th grade, like late middle school. Might have been 8th grade or something. Although I'd be surprised if it was in 8th grade, because by 8th grade, I was really enough of a square that there's no way I was smoking pot.
No way you had friends.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because I'd lost my
Yes.
friends. They'd all, this is kind of sad, they'd all started smoking pot. So
You lost
a
them to
few.
pot?
Lost a few. As if you guys follow
Lost a few good men.
Barry McCockiner, half of his tweets are about
Marijuana killing people.
His cousin who died from
A marijuana
from pot.
overdose.
And he gets athletes to respond about his cousin who died of a marijuana overdose. But yeah, I was in like 7th grade, and we smoked from a bong, and it was I hated it. It was terrible, and like everybody was yelling, and I was like, "Yo, quit yelling." I fucking hated it. So I guess if you want a deterrent from smoking pot, use an apparatus.
Yes.
Maybe one as intense as
A bong.
A bong. People are for sure listening, and they're like, "Dude, a fucking bong is training wheels."
Yeah,
That is-
probably.
that is like the safest.
Well, have you ever done edibles?
No, and I never will.
Okay, yeah, because I've heard some like fucking horror stories.
Right,
about edibles.
yes, that is the one I will definitely never ever do. So when I said that people only do the pen now, people do edibles,
yeah.
and people have told me of like, oh, well, there's like, if you take this certain kind of edible, then there's less of a chance that blah, blah. Well, I'm rocking a 0% chance that blah, blah, because I'm just not going to fucking do edibles. Why would you play roulette that way and just...
I think I kind of like that, just putting it up to the gods. I feel like edibles are going to become, like, I don't want to say more popular because they're already fucking really popular, but now that it's sort of becoming legalized in more places, they're going to open up dispensaries, and edibles are like a huge part of dispensaries.
But if I'm eating a baked good, I don't want any more stress than I already have from eating a baked good, because I'm the fucking... What does purveyor mean? Would purveyor be a good use of that? I was going to say purveyor of steer into the...
I feel like that. I want to say like that's like surveyor, but
I once knew what this meant, but in 7th grade I smoked pot.
Yes.
A person who sells or deals in particular goods. Ooh, so maybe...
why don't they call them pot purveyors?
Yeah, I was just about to say, like a drug purveyor. Yeah. He was purveying
that
drugs.
sounds way more classy.
Yeah, but as like a head honcho of the steer into the skid gang, if I'm eating a baked good or anything, as I'm doing it, I'm not doing the like... I hate myself for doing this. I'm not doing the shaming myself. I'm like, I'm eating this because it tastes good. And then after I'm done with it, I'm like, all right, really got to keep up with the Make DJ White Again diet tomorrow.
Well, once we steer and take a 180 into drug territory, once we become drug lords.
2022. Man,
oh man,
crazy.
I hope this podcast isn't still around in 2022.
Yeah. I don't think. Well, spoiler alert: none of us are around in 2022.
Once we take a 180 into Drugland, I think that we floated this idea in the past about doing like an all-nighter episode. We should just do an episode where we eat edibles and podcast for like 12 hours.
I pitched an idea to work recently that was basically just have me and Pete do Wine Actually with everything, and they're like, well, so we'd have like 9 hours to show you two just drinking wine.
Yes.
And I was like, yes, also you'd need to buy out all of the ad space because no breaks, please. Don't want to miss any good things. Yeah, but I don't see the apparatus stuff going on. And I guess that's good because if I were like hanging out with friends and somebody busted out a doobie and sparked it up, I'd be like, oh, now everything's going to smell. And
it's true.
You're
you don't
the only
have to worry
person
about
enjoying
that.
Yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. Actually, you know what? I was at Boston Calling like probably 3 years ago. I saw somebody that was standing near me was passing around a joint. And I was thinking, like, don't pass it to me. Don't pass it to me. Because I would have done the, like, oh, I'm on a diet or something, and then pass it off. So they wouldn't think,
well, now you're a gym guy. So now you have an excuse, even though I don't think that really affects the gym that much.
Yes. Does it hurt your recovery time?
No. But the one thing that you could say is, like, I can't do that because I get the munchies when I'm high, and I'm on a strict gym diet now.
And I'm working out, and I can't take a break to go eat while I'm working out. You guys are filling up on water. I'm like, yo, where's the Entenmann's at? No one ever pronounces that second N in Entenmann's, huh?
No, Entenmann's.
I think they say Entenmann's. Is it Entenmann's or did I make that up?
I don't know.
Let's see. Yo, without looking, guess how many N's are in Entenmann's?
One in the front, 2, 5.
There are 6 N's. No, just kidding. There's 4, but that's
okay.
still a lot.
Okay.
ENTENMANN apostrophe NS.
Oh,
that's like
man.
when Ali G has Boutros Gali on.
Yes.
Have you seen that?
Yes.
Boutros Gali.
How is the gym going, by the way?
Started at Wednesday.
For those at home, those dropping their kids off at school, which we did learn this week that people listen to this podcast when they drop their kids off at school.
We got some active listeners.
Yes.
Making those kids.
I finally gave DJ my workout plan.
Yeah. And it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday is chest. Wednesday is legs. Friday, after this, I'm about to go do arms, right?
Arms and back.
Oh, arms and
upper body and back.
Nice. So I started Wednesday, and I figured I'm probably going to be sore in the early going. So I'll start with the Monday on Wednesday, do Friday on Friday, and then do Monday, Wednesday, Friday next week. I realized right after, I literally started a workout plan by skipping leg day.
I think that's I do that all the time. Like,
Yeah?
I'm just like, yeah, if I miss a day,
Yeah.
like especially if I missed a Monday, I think I did that this week too, where I missed Monday, and I was like, yeah, it's fine, I'll do Monday and Wednesday.
Yeah,
and
first
skip
order
leg day.
business, just skip leg day.
It's like it's like the initiation step. It's like leg day, not for me.
Although I've been told that leg day is important
It is.
for the
Everything else.
for the belly.
It's important for everything.
Really?
Yeah.
Just because like you look like a freak if you.
Yeah, that. But like
can't
it also makes you stronger.
Yeah.
Like you get a lot of your strength starts on in the lower body.
Got it. That's what I feel like. That's like a baseball coach thing to say.
It's true though.
Like, hey, when you flip the ball underhand, just make sure you know it's all coming. You know where it's coming from? Your butt. Yeah, it's coming from your butt.
Every sort of like thing like that either starts in the legs or the core. Like any coach will always tell you, like, it's all about the power. Your power is really in your legs, or your power is really in your core. You need a strong core.
I'm gonna do the thing. I'm gonna like get a trainer just so I can piss them off. And if they're like, all right, so you know where all this twisting motion you're doing, you know where it's coming from? I'm going to be like, I think I know, but where? And they're going to be like, it's coming from your core. And I'm going to say something dumb like, my dad's a teacher, and it's the
He says
elbows.
it's wrong. Yes. Yeah. It actually starts in your dick.
Yeah. Shouts to my dad, not a teacher.
Next year, next summer, we should, for content, we should coach a little league baseball team.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
That'd be fucking unbelievable.
Imagine that. We coaching
We could sponsor
baseball
it too.
Monday through Friday, DJ wedding or MC weddings on Saturdays. What a life that'd be. You know how much money we would make? We would make exactly whatever we'd get from the MCing weddings because I'm pretty sure those jobs don't pay.
What, the coaching little league baseball?
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure they don't.
Yeah.
And I'm also pretty sure that like you get looked down upon if you coach little league baseball without a kid on the team.
So I had a hockey coach who was like probably fresh out of college. Like it was like 3 dudes. They were probably like 22 through 24, and our team was fucking awesome. They were like, God bless all the hockey coaches I had who were like lifers and had coached forever and were institutions in the town. But man, you get like 3 kids who played any sort of like competitive hockey recently.
Yeah.
And
they want to win, man.
They're pretty in tune with how to get things done.
Yeah.
All of our practices, literally all of our practices every day was just an hour of breakout drills. All we did was, like, they were actually pretty ahead of their time. They were all about puck possession. They were like, all right, so we're defending in our own zone. Let's get the puck really quickly.
Breakouts and transitions, man. That's what it's about.
Once you guys have the puck, it's a youth hockey game. No one knows how to skate or do anything. Like, as long as you have the puck, you probably score because you just push it with your stick up the ice and then you score.
And the goalie sucks, so just put it on net.
Yeah. Oh, man, those were the days. I would rack up 20-goal seasons in my sleep. I fucking sucked at hockey. It was amazing. I said there, a little quick side note, I said in there that I said something about I called myself a freak. A little shout out to Deadspin, who it's cool for Deadspin to call somebody with autism a freak because they hate Barstool.
Yeah, they called one of the guys at Barstool. I didn't know that he had autism. I think Tommy smokes.
Okay.
I think K Marco said that he was autistic, and I was like, wow, holy shit. But they called him a freak in the Deadspin article, and I'm sure that they won't apologize for that or whatever, but like it's cool for them to fucking target Barstool for anything that they disagree with or whatever.
Woke Deadspin, who's all into feminism and everything, except when a couple of years ago when Jamie Erdahl got duped by a fake Rappaport account.
Yeah.
And they made a blog post basically calling her a bimbo.
Oh my
God. But by all means, cool woke Deadspin. Deadspin sucks.
It's so annoying.
And that thing that this who is Laura Wagner wrote about Barstool was I don't know how anybody if you're acting like a reputable outlet, who approved that could be written? That was the most like seething, hateful.
Well, it happens every time they write about Barstool. They just like throw in like all these fucking like adjectives. Like it's like Turtle Boy basically. Where, you know how whenever he like tries to make fun of somebody, he throws out these like ridiculous adjectives.
Yeah.
They do the same thing, and it's just like. At this point, it's so fucking petty.
Yeah.
It's so clear that Barstool has so much room in Deadspin's head, and it's just like, I'm like, far be it for me to defend everything that Barstool does.
Yeah,
we've said that we go back and forth.
I care
we're not
0%. If you hate Barstool, I care 0%.
But like, make sure that your arguments are rooted in the right place, because
Right,
there
exactly.
are places that you can go where I'll be like, all right, if that's the reason that you don't like Barstool or whatever, that's your reasoning for not liking them, fine, so be it. But at this point, Deadspin is going after Barstool for literally everything, and like this latest thing was that Sam Ponder lied about wanting or willingness to go on Barstool Van Talk, or Pardon My Take, to discuss like her falling out with the Barstool guys, and I 100% believe Big
Dan would have,
Big Cat and PFT. Dan is like called Middleman Dan because he always wants to sort of like settle these things.
Yeah.
And I 100% believe that they reached out to her. And so like I don't have any problem with Dave being like, hey, she's a liar. That's Dave's shtick.
Right. My thing with that is, again, if you don't like Barstool, who cares? For most of my adult life, honestly, until I met like Jared and Feidelberg, I had 0.0 feelings about Barstool.
Yeah.
I kind of looked down on it because all I knew was the comment section, and I was like, oh, Barstool is the thing that dumb guys read. And then I met those guys, and I actually looked into their stuff, and I was like, oh, these are funny people, and they're being harmless. And obviously Dave has said a bunch of shit that's pissed people off.
Right.
And a bunch of people, that stupid idiot, who's the Chris Spags guy.
Oh,
there has been...
There's been a lot of stuff that
Right.
you can point at and be like, all right, this isn't cool.
Right. But where I get mad, and I defend Barstool a lot, and it's not because I'm like this major champion of Barstool. As I said, I love a lot of those guys, but I just get mad when people make arguments without caring to actually learn about what they're discussing.
Right, and like when you have a preconceived notion in your head, and like there is like this sort of groupthink on Twitter and the internet, it's so easy to pile on shit without it actually looking into what you're actually discussing.
Yeah. And I get so fucking mad. Like the Laura Wagner person went after Charlotte because she had them on her show. So this person, in the name of feminism, said,
if you're a woman in sports, don't do this.
This woman doesn't know better than to make a decision for herself. Like, Charlotte has consumed, pardon my take, she knows
Charlotte's
what
on
those
the internet
guys
fucking
do
24 hours a day. She
right,
knows
yeah,
the
no
fucking
offense.
space.
Like, loser alert. She spends all of her goddamn time on the internet. I think
Friend
that
of
she
the podcast,
has,
big fucking loser.
I think that she would be able to make a fair enough assessment of pardon my take, which is why I get so fucking mad. And I said this to Charlotte this week. Like, as a fucking straight guy who his entire life people have been like, hey, you act gay. Like, I have not been able to... I never like saw eye to eye with a lot of like the cool manly content that has come out basically my entire life. If I were fucking younger, if I were in 7th grade learning what pot is and all that shit, and Pardon My Take existed, that would be a fucking that would be my North Star.
Yeah.
Because I'd be like, oh, two guys who aren't assholes and are good at making fun of the kind of typical macho stuff.
Right.
But I've said it a million times.
And
those two aren't the problem.
And I mean, the latest like Laura Wagner hit piece is about like it's turning the Sam Ponder thing into like a sexist thing. It's like they're targeting like Dave's targeting women online. He's done that shit for like every enemy of Barstool, man or woman. Like Jamie O'Grady was targeted for years.
Who's
Goodell? That? Jamie O'Grady used to run the Cauldron, I think it is.
Yeah,
and like
Dave
loves like Revenge. Dave loves targeting fucking everybody who goes against Barstool, whether it's a man or a woman.
Yeah.
So I mean, like the fact that Laura Wagner tried to turn this into like a sexist thing, that was really what bothered me.
Well, also if it doesn't take Dan at his word at all. That I mean,
Right,
he laid out
yeah.
the kind of facts of it, and they're saying like, oh, she called them, she called her, or he called her a liar. Blah blah. It's like, well,
She might be.
Did she lie?
Yeah.
There's. I don't know. Again, I don't. If this comes off as us defending Barstool or whatever, then whatever. I just don't be a fucking asshole online. And when those guys have been assholes online,
Good luck.
they've been called assholes. Yeah. This girl was an asshole to these people. So, and again, if I were any sort of editor, I would not. And
I'd be like, hey,
sent that
maybe
to
tone
me,
this down a little bit.
I'd be like, yo, like no one will be able to take this seriously. This is so vicious and mean and hateful. And again, by all means, be as mean as you want to Dave. Dave's fine with people being mean to him. He wants.
He can fucking handle it.
What does he call it?
And he also kind of deserves it.
He likes to get into the mud or whatever.
Yeah, the mud.
Dan is not. Doesn't seem like a big
Dan's like
war
leave
guy.
me out of this.
Yeah, he just seems like a fucking nice guy who wants to hang out and listen to Fleetwood Mac. Back to the gym talk. I realized while lifting, gym playlists can't be what my normal gym playlists are. I usually just put on music that I like, and I just name it gym playlist because I happen to listen to it at the gym.
Yeah, you have to. Like, you definitely have to. Like, I listen to songs at the gym that I wouldn't listen to outside of the gym, just because it's like, well, this isn't really what I like to listen to, but you need a certain style at the gym. I texted you texted me that this week, and I also said I don't understand people who listen to podcasts at the gym. We get texts all the time.
Oh yeah,
being like, was listening to the podcast at
I
the gym.
laughed on the elliptical, blah blah
Which
blah.
I think that's fine.
Sorry to
like,
make fun of the listeners.
I think that's fine. Like, if you're doing cardio,
Yeah.
it's easier to listen to something conversational. You don't really need to get amped up for cardio. But if you're lifting, I don't understand people who listen to podcasts while lifting.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's strange.
Unless maybe it's like a podcast where they're shit talking you, and you're like, I'm gonna
fuck
kick
this.
their ass.
You just listen to audio transcriptions of Laura Wagner.
Yeah.
or anybody who
No,
works
tell
at
you what.
Barstool.
Speaking of Barstool, I could listen to the recent Lights Camera podcast thing.
Yeah.
Ken Jack, who has become my favorite Twitter follow, he kind of took a little shot at Randy.
Yeah.
He started to take a shot at Randy, and then he was like, the brunch guys are boys with them, so I'm not going to shit talk him. And then within 5 seconds, he says, fuck you, Randy. Fuck you. Like 3 times.
We'll drop the audio in right here.
Like, at all. Like, they said she deserved an Emmy for her portrayal as Barb in Stranger Things. Like, fuck off, man. Like, I get it, whatever. Like, if you like made a meme out of it, but people took it very seriously on the internet for a very long time, and it was an annoying phenomenon. And to the point where I started the embargo for I think like 3 months. And then
Wait,
the guy that what do you call him?
someone told you to fuck off, right?
Yeah, the guy from Stranger Things, the guy who plays the professor. He's like boys with the guys from Brunch, so like I'm not gonna shit talk him or anything. But I think his name is Randy something. I don't remember what. But he quote tweet dunked on me like yeah, maybe you should just shut up and enjoy the show. And I was like, fuck you, dude. Like fuck you. Fuck you, man. It's annoying. You don't get it because you're an actor and you're not online. But I very much have free time and online, and it's annoying.
But yeah, Ken Jack is like really surly. And
Yeah.
he's like a 65-year-old man who is like the neighborhood crank.
I never know where he's going.
Yeah. He is. I love Ken Jack. I think that he's hilarious. But you can't come after our guy Randy and expect to get away with it. Yeah, I guess like. But I want to say I do agree where he was coming from with the Barb thing. Since day one, since we started watching Stranger Things, I've been like on the fuck Barb train, and everybody was.
I can't be because I'm spending too much time on the fuck Will train.
That's true.
Kill him.
But like people forget in season 1, people were going fucking nuts over Barb.
They stand Barb.
Yeah, which is infuriating because she was the biggest wet blanket in the history of wet blankets on TV.
I kind of, so you know what? That Barb was post having smoked pot in 7th grade, DJ.
Yeah.
I kind of identified with Barb.
Yeah, well, that doesn't surprise me. I would have fucking hated you in 7th grade too. So yeah, I mean, I get where he's coming from, but you can't come after our guy Randy. Which we also got some devastating news this week that Randy will not.
We were
be joining us.
going to take another trip with Randy.
will not be
And-
joining us in Austin for Austin City Limits this year. Very
Did
upsetting.
had we said that he was gonna come on that?
I don't know. We might have floated the rumor that he could be joining us.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, I'm going. Let's do this. And then he backed out. But we're still going to go and have a ton of fun. Maybe some surprises there. The cool thing about saying maybe some surprises, just
We
maybe.
usually don't deliver.
Just maybe.
Yeah.
That's like
We didn't promise you anything.
like Drew Brees said recently. Baker Mayfield could end up being better than me, and everyone's like, "Ooh, is Baker Mayfield going to be better than Drew Brees?" No,
Might be.
he can
Yeah. Speaking of quarterbacks, little Nathan Peterman heat check. Not the starter this week.
Not the starter this week, but I am here for any and all Nathan Peterman talk, especially if it's done by my pals at High Noon. Because have you ever heard Bomani Jones say Nathan Peterman?
No.
Let me tell you, he doesn't say Peterman. He calls him Peterman.
Peterman. Hell yeah.
Nathan
Like
Peterman.
Peter Pan?
Yeah.
But Peterman.
Right. I saw people tweeting at him. They're like, why do you call him Nathan Peterman? And I think that he's from Houston. So it's like a Houston
Who is
dialect or accent or something.
Who's this,
Bomani
Bomani?
Jones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Peterman.
Bomani Jones is fucking hilarious.
I think he's
Because-
great.
Yeah. Bomani Jones is like...
He has the best deadpan delivery.
Yes, exactly. He just kind of hangs back.
Yeah.
I like people who are just very reactionary
Yeah.
in their humor. Like a lot of funny people couldn't do stand up because they're better at just seeing shit happen and being and just saying the right thing off of that. Bomani Jones is unbelievable at that. And I don't watch a ton of High Noon, but Pablo Torre, is that his name?
Yeah.
Is
It's actually Pablo Torre.
yeah, good one. All-time PFT commenter tweet that
What?
when the Steelers and Browns went to overtime, he tweeted, "Somebody please tell Taylor that if nobody scores in the next 15 minutes, the game ends in a tuh."
Yeah.
Hilarious. But yeah, Pablo Torre will just say some ridiculous shit. And Bomani Jones will just always have the perfect reaction.
I feel like if I got into
Nathan
sports-
Peterman.
That was a pretty fucking good impression.
Yeah.
I can hear it in his voice. Yeah, no, I feel like if I had sports discussions with Bomani Jones, it would always end up in me screaming at him just because his delivery would piss me off so much.
Right, just it's like a London, one of those guard guys that just
Yes.
stand there.
It's like-
show emotion.
Yes. It's like, why are you not as upset as I am about this?
Right, you'd rant and everything, and then there'd be silence. You'd be like, except of course you realize that blah blah, and he's fucking smarter than you too. He'd be a pretty infuriating. Yeah, because it's one thing to be the smart guy in the room, but he's also he never wavers.
What could we get him on for? Because I would love to have Bomani Jones as a guest on Brunch, but it would have to be non-sports related.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's look up what his interests are.
Okay, let's do
find Bomani Jones into gardening or some shit. Let's just put in some time, learn about gardening. Have him in, and he'd be like, "Well, I planted these chrysanthemums." And is that what is his accent?
I don't know, but you're kind of nailing it. To be honest, you were really hitting on his sort of dictation.
Let's see. He's from Atlanta and born in Atlanta, moved to Houston.
I do know that he was from Atlanta because after the Patriots beat the Falcons, it was the next day on ESPN was a fucking funeral. He was like, "This is the worst day of my life."
Really?
Yeah. He was like, "Nothing good will
I had
ever
a couple
happen
of
to
bad
Atlanta
days,
sports."
Yeah. Speaking of Atlanta sports, give the Jets back to Atlanta because
Fuck
of those
off.
jerseys.
I liked those jerseys. I think I like them. I think that they're going to look better on the the picture that was shared was a fan replica, and I think that it was maybe a female jersey or a woman's jersey, and it's going to look better on the ice. It looks a little unfinished. I will say it looks a little unfinished, but I like that jersey. That jersey is fine. Jeff Israel had the best take of the day, which was people got outraged over that Jets jersey, and when the Colorado Avalanche came out later in the day and brought back their old third.
Yeah.
Which that jersey sucks.
Which one?
The one with the white shoulder yoke and like the triangle with
the
C in it.
C?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
That jersey sucks.
That's good.
That jersey sucks.
Yeah, okay.
And so people got outraged over the Jets jersey while the Avalanche jersey is worse.
Well, definitely not. But the Jets jersey is Print Shop Deluxe jersey.
No, it's
You make that thing on Print Shop, bro?
I think it's going to look more finished on the ice.
Speaking of hockey jerseys, shout out to the Vegas Golden Knights Twitter account, which has been reformed.
Yes.
It went to the bathroom for a little bit. It freshened up, came back out. Did you see the reveal of Max Pacioretty's jersey?
No.
It was like the steaming press thing.
Yeah.
And it said, it was closed, and it said, Max Pacioretty will wear, and then it lifted up, and it was, the jersey said, Pacioretty, 67.
So the exact
And
same
all the
jersey.
responses were Michael Bluth looking in the bag that said,
Oh, I
Dead
don't know
Dove
what
Do
I
Not. He's
expected.
saying, I don't know what I was expecting.
That's such a fucking weird move.
Huge, great reveal. Like, that's like tweeting, like, new day, new me, and it's... Like,
Just a picture of you, and it's you look exactly the same.
it's
as the
me
previous
with
day.
like my same hair, same fucking pills that I take, everything. You just, yeah. Speaking of ESPN personalities, I had a. It's fun when you have a great tweet that has under 5 interactions. That's like, do you know what a Google Whack is?
No.
I learned about it in like a coding class I took in college. Didn't get a good grade. A Google Whack is when you Google something that's 2 words and only gets 1 result. Nowadays, it would have to be fucking impossible.
Right.
But like back in the day, you could do that. You could find like 2 words, Google it, see if you only got 1 result. But so I think it's a similar kind of thing is sending a good tweet that only gets under 5 interactions. Now, this one was a response to something, so not as many people could see it. But our guy Tommy Giles tweeted a poll. I have no idea how this came up. Who would survive longer in a zombie apocalypse, Evan Drellick or me? And Casey Smith responded and said, oh my God, this isn't close. DJ in a landslide, just because Evan would die immediately, which I agree with.
Yeah.
Like, all the responses were like, I'm going with DJ.
I think you guys might actually kill each other.
No, well, so the best response was DJ on a technicality, because when Evan died, it wouldn't technically be an apocalypse yet. Like, it wouldn't even be an epidemic yet.
He wouldn't make it to the apocalypse stage.
He'd be like a mysterious death occurred in this, or like mysterious deaths are popping up. Evan would be one of those.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That seems about accurate.
But so Casey responded like, oh man, not even close. DJ in a landslide. Sorry, Evan. And somebody responded to her saying, who's DJ Bean? And I responded with a video of Stephen A going, he's a bad man. And it only got 2 likes. One of them was Tom Giles.
Nice.
But that was fucking
That counts for like
hilarious.
at least 5 likes.
Yeah, I think that we
rules.
gotta start using Stephen A. Videos for more Twitter stuff. I actually want to do Stephen A. will like tease the next day on First Take. He'll have like a picture of himself. It'll be like a graphic of himself arguing, and he'll be like, Dak Prescott isn't the GOAT. What do you think? Exclamation point. And then it'll just be like a graphic that says like, Stephen A. doesn't think Dak Prescott is the GOAT. And then it's that.
Okay.
We could do those with like just pictures of ourselves. Pete saw my big fat white gangster child movie. Didn't like it, right? You didn't like it?
Didn't like White Boy Rick, no.
Was that what it's called?
White Boy Rick, yep.
White Boy Rick. I'm still probably going to see it.
Yeah,
Is
let's
it worth
discuss that for
seeing?
Monday's episode. Yeah, it's definitely worth seeing. I think I'm okay with discussing movies a little bit later. Like I
Yeah.
want to discuss Searching today. We
Okay.
can get to that maybe now, but
Yeah.
like that you saw that like a week ago.
Yeah.
I saw it this week. It was a little delayed, but I think it's worth talking about.
I was highly disappointed. I felt that I was sold a bill of goods. The preview came out, and as I said on this podcast, I'm not seeing this because this looks like a movie about just how crazy of shit people can do using technology. And you guys all know that gives me the willies. When all the explosions were happening in Massachusetts yesterday,
Yeah, it was fucking wild.
I was like, folks, this is how it happens. Infrastructure. Shit like that, you know?
Yep.
So I didn't want to see it, and then I saw that people were saying it was really, really good, and it I don't know if people were selling the twist as much, but they were saying that it was like...
I listened to Lights Camera Boys, and they said they all loved it, and the twist at the end was pretty crazy.
So I saw it, and I was so disappointed. The twist was, if you use just basic reasoning, it's going to be what that... It's like you could have figured out the twist.
Yeah. I don't
like, were you surprised by the twist?
No, not really, not entirely. I mean, you're sitting there, and you at that point in the movie, you're like, all right, well, something fucking has to happen,
right?
And like based off of what we've seen to this point in the movie, it's probably this. It's probably something like this.
Yeah, there's
only like 4 or 5 characters in the movie,
right?
Which means that unless you're going to be wildly disappointed that they introduce a character with 15 minutes left in the movie, it's going to be somebody that you know.
So the twist is that one of those 4 or 5 characters did it,
right?
And my thing was, I was actually immediately disappointed because the preview made me think that like his daughter was away at college or something like that, and they were video chatting, and then she disappeared, and then he was using the internet and realized, wait a second, when did she disappear? How long? Like, have I actually been talking to my daughter? How long has this been going on? That's what I thought it was about, and that premise is way better and way creepier, because the idea that like someone goes away to college, you're video chatting with them, you're
like
texting
you're not
with
actually
them.
there with them,
right?
That like somebody could literally fake a person's existence.
Yes, that's what I thought the movie was about. So immediately I was like, huh.
Which it sort of goes there.
Existences are faked, but in like very basic,
right? And like
a
very basic. Hey, watch an episode of Catfish. You'll see exactly what happens. In this.
It's more about like basic catfishing than it is about like crazy mastermind.
Right, it's not creepy what happens in the movie because we've seen shit like that happen all the time.
Yeah, this movie could have honestly been made 10 years ago.
Yeah,
same exact thing.
Like the only thing that I'll say is I thought that it was presented in a cool way where it's like the entire movie is a computer screen. It is the entire movie is told through the lens of a computer screen, and I thought that was cool. But if you're going to do that, and you raise this point afterwards, if you're going to do that, it has to be more.
Wait, is 100% of it shown through a movie screen?
Yeah, I believe so.
I think so. I'm thinking now. I think so.
And like
phones.
News.
Yeah.
And like news camera, but like that could be streamed on a computer.
Right, yeah, because I'm thinking of like when he's meeting with the FBI and stuff, like they're around the computer and it's shown from the perspective of the computer. That's pretty cool.
Right. And like also at the end when they're in prison, it's from the security footage. So it's all it's either through like camera, like it feels stupid to say the entire movie's through a camera lens, but like but it's through like a camera lens, like whether it's CCTV, whether it's security footage, whether it's like news broadcasts, whether it's through a computer. It's all presented in sort of a cool way. But you raised this point after we saw it that like if you're going to do that, if you're going to like have this like the entire story told through the internet and stuff like that, it has to be more of an internet-based twist.
Yes. It was like,
the twist in this movie could have been a twist in any fucking thriller.
This was like your
world.
Typical mystery thriller, packaged in kind of a neat way.
Right.
But I thought that this was going to be more innovative and something that we haven't seen before. When in reality, it's kind of whodunit. There's 2 questions. Is this girl still alive? And who did this? And the reveal isn't crazy as to what those answers are. There's some obvious red herrings where you're like, all right, this isn't it. And I don't know. I'd like to pick those guys' brains, the Lights, Camera, Barstool, or a lot of people like Scott McLaughlin, who I trust very much on all things pop culture, really liked it. And I'm pretty sure like I'm not missing something here. I thought this was a way more basic movie than we were led to believe.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And I think I don't necessarily disagree with any of your assessments, but I did enjoy the movie. I was sort of I was engrossed and entertained the entire way through. I just feel like in the end, the purpose of the movie and the theme that it was going for under-delivered into what it there was a lot more potential there than what they actually delivered.
Right. It's like setting Scarface in the future, except they have all the same guns that they had in the 80s.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like, wait, so it's just set in the future and everything's the same?
This is a very technology-based movie that doesn't use any sort of advanced technology.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So I was disappointed there, but
John Cho was fucking
I was
great.
going to say, my guy, I don't know his name, John Cho was
great.
Yeah. Those two are, I've seen those guys in other things. And
who? Deborah Messing?
No. that guy, Deborah Messing.
Yeah.
Harold and Kumar.
Yeah, John Cho.
And
who
yeah,
else?
they're good actors.
Yeah.
Obviously when they're only known for a stoner thing, it's easy to assume that they're just both comedians or something, but I'm pretty sure that they're both fucking real ass
Cal Penn
actors.
is
Cal Penn's the other guy.
Cal Penn is he went into politics. He worked for Obama.
Oh, that's right.
He worked in Obama's White House.
Yeah, didn't he organized some cool thing that
he was in charge of, maybe not in charge of, but he was a leader in the youth, sort of getting the youth to engage in Obama's administration.
For the kids.
Yes, exactly. His position title was For the Kids.
Yeah.
Cal Penn.
For the kids. The kids. Eminem does that one of his songs. The kids.
So it has a 92 on Rotten Tomatoes, which is way too high.
Oh, gosh, too high.
Way too high. The IMDb rating is more in line with what I'm thinking, which
7.6?
is 7.9.
Oh, so I'd give it a 7.6, which is...
That is good.
Yeah, that's good. That's worth seeing. I was gonna say we talked about kind of movie ratings and what
we need a scale that we and I'm in favor of a stamp scale where it's good,
not bad,
good.
Not good. Yeah,
right. Something like that.
Yeah,
I would give this a pretty good.
I would give this I'd give this a fine.
Yeah. I feel like fine is in the 60s to 50s range.
Yeah, but I've realized because we've seen basically every movie that's come out the last 2 years.
Movies.
I'm willing to see a movie regardless. If you're like I asked you about my big fat white boy gangster child movie, and you were like, "Oh, it wasn't great." I'm like, I'm seeing it.
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
It doesn't you have told me this is not
Peppermint.
that good of a movie,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
I'm more just
Can't wait.
interested in I'm interested in seeing bad movies because it helps you gain a perspective of all right, this is what a bad movie is.
Right. I learned a lot about dialogue in watching Peppermint because you're like,
sucked.
oh, so I shouldn't take dialogue for granted because this dialogue is absolutely terrible. But we've got some good movies coming out, which is pretty exciting. I can't wait for A Star Is Born. I've already run the gamut on emotions with Bradley Cooper. As you may recall, at first I was like, wow, Bradley Cooper looks great in this movie. He looks super cool. Looks like his face is like a catcher's mitt. Really terrible. Can't wait. And then I found out that he just fucking did that because he made the movie. He chose to make himself look that cool.
Oh, yeah.
Bullshit move.
Yeah.
But I got over it now because it's been enough time. And now I'm all like, I'm in the deep end.
I tweeted the a couple months ago about all the fucking things that Bradley Cooper did in this movie to make himself look way cooler.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and it's the list is fucking crazy.
I don't think we follow each other on Twitter.
So I said, let's run down I said, I'm very excited for A Star Is Born, but I feel like Bradley Cooper writing and directing a movie in which he gets to play the coolest dude in the world is kind of cheating. And that's I think that I kind of piggybacked off because you had that take already.
I was gonna say I don't know if that came before or after, but that was
it came after.
That was what my meltdown was.
Yeah. It came after. But then I did a follow-up tweet. I did a thread. And I said, let's just run down the pros and cons of Bradley character playing in this character here. Pros. He's handsome. He has luscious hair. Is a successful rock star. Is best friends with Dave Chappelle. Somehow discovers Lady Gaga in a bar. Is somehow the only person who thinks that she's pretty. The only person in the world who thinks that Lady Gaga is pretty. And here's the con. Maybe he likes booze a little too much.
Yes.
That's it.
That is, the Lady Gaga pretty thing made me so mad because she looks unbelievable in this movie.
She looks good. Yeah,
but, like,
she looks good pretty much.
But like,
whenever
she's
she doesn't do the freaky
always
weird
pretty.
shit.
Like nobody has. Like it's like because she would wear all the crazy stuff and everything.
But then you'd be
and
like, hey, I
nobody
bet
would-
she's like pretty under
right.
that.
And people would say like she's got just as good a chance as anybody else of being pretty underneath there, and then he takes it off and it's like. Oh,
yeah.
She's like a unique, pretty-looking person.
Yeah.
Lady Gaga gets more points for me because she does have a kind of unique look.
Yeah.
And like I don't know anybody who looks like Lady Gaga.
She gets
Huge
points. She gets points for me because she is good looking.
Yeah.
But she doesn't like throw it in everybody's face.
Yeah.
She sort of like masks the fact that she's a good looking person.
And she's
by
got-
doing all this fucking weird shit.
I run hot and cold on tattoos. I've talked with some when I've been doing locker room talk with the guys talking about the chickadees because some guys
One
like
day at the gym, you're already doing locker room talk.
oh yeah I really set up well my first order of business at the gym was I was like hi I belong to this gym for roughly 2 months.
Where is everything?
Where is everything? Because I don't know where the stuff is. All I know is where the locker room is. And I'll be honest, they're sick of me in there. And I know where the cardio stuff is. Where's everything else? You got it, right? And they were like, yes. And I was like, okay, well then within 1 to 2 more months, I will be going there. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Do not need to scan me in. But like some guys just like aren't into tattoos on themselves or on...
Most people are fucking idiots.
Or on lady... Yeah, tattoos can be really cool.
Tattoos are awesome.
Yeah, like they can obviously be bad, like
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
But they can be dope. Tattoos are like people.
I feel like you gotta have
Everybody's
a-
got one.
Yep.
I don't know. Jay, if you say like this is like this, then I feel like the follow up has to be like everybody's got one.
Yeah. No, I feel like you got to have a plan with tattoos for the most part.
But she has a awesome tattoo. Like if I
Which one?
Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
She's got a trumpet on her bicep.
Oh yeah, we've had this.
That's a
discussion,
real, and it's black and white. It's just black. I love black tattoos. I'm into Lady Gaga's whole look. What a babe. I can't wait for that movie though. And
Yeah.
I'm loving this Star is Born memes.
Yeah, the memes are fucking awesome. Did not expect that. But the scene where he rolls down the window and it's like, "Hey, just wanted another look at
Just
you."
want to get another. Honestly,
That's become a fucking amazing meme.
real talk. I think that anybody can pull off anything if they have the confidence. Blah blah. If you hook up with somebody, drive them home, and then as they're walking out, this is seemingly after the first time they've hooked up.
Yeah.
And you do, hey, just want another look at you. Unless you guys both said "I love you" to each other the previous night, that is so way too fucking much.
Yeah, Lady Gaga smiles in that scene, but if the full scene, if she doesn't turn around, it's like, ooh, what the fuck did I just get into?
I would be like, oh man, you were cool. Fuck, you ended up crazy.
Imagine if the twist in this movie, like if in the full movie, Bradley Cooper is just like a really fucking creepy psychopathic stalker.
Well, did you see there was a video that recut it as a horror movie?
Oh, I didn't
and
see
it was
that.
hilarious, and I was watching it, and about 45 seconds into it, I noticed a little R with a circle around it in the corner, and I was like, oh, The Ringer made this. Never mind.
Oh.
Lame.
Well, like
This isn't cool.
but like the new trailer has him just like playing with her nose for like 15 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, how?
He's
Are
just
they
like-
lying down?
No, like they're in the bar in the scene where he's like, "I think you're pretty," and she's like, "And everybody who looks at me thinks that I don't have the looks and stuff." And he's like, "All right, what's wrong?"
Oh,
with-" He's like, "What's wrong with you?"
Yeah.
and she's like, "I don't like my nose," and he's just running his finger down it. He's like, "Let me touch it," and he's running his finger down her nose and shit, and it's just like the weirdest scene.
As somebody who loves their fucking nose,
Don't touch my fucking nose.
if somebody did that, if you do anything to my nose other than an adorable little boop, then you. I guess this
feel
movie
like this
is like we
movie
should
is-
take notes on like how many times do they do something
that you couldn't get away with if you weren't a fucking rock star.
That yeah.
I feel like this movie is going to be a clinic in putting on a clinic of things that you can only get away with if you're a rock star.
Also, there seem to be some not okay elements of it because there's like she shows him a song that she wrote, and she's like, "Hey, I have stage fright, so I can't perform it."
Yeah.
And he's on stage, and he's like,
just do
"All
it,
right, I'm gonna
idiot."
bring you out. You're gonna sing that song." And she's like, "Oh, I would, but I've got stage fright. It's like a it's like a thing.
Like
I've
she
got."
has severe anxiety.
Right, yeah. She's
And-
like, I'm working on it and managing it, but this probably wouldn't be good for me.
And he's just like,
And he's
"Don't be a
do
wimp."
it, you little puss. Come on, get out here. And she's like, "Oh, please don't call me that. But good luck with the rest of your show." And he's like, "I'm going to drag you onto the stage, sing." And luckily, it turns out she didn't have stage fright or
Yeah.
something. But normally, like, she said, "No, I don't want to do this." Just because you're a rock star.
Oh man, they're gonna be think pieces about this movie.
Well, I think they're warranted.
Yeah, I
she
mean-
said, "Hey, I've got stage fright. I can't do this."
This movie might be one of the events of the year for me leading up to it because
Yeah.
there is so much build up. It could literally go anywhere.
When are we gonna? So we didn't do it for Mamma Mia. Maybe we can do it for A Star Is Born. We need to go to New York, do some ABBA karaoke with the Lights Camera Podcast boys, and then go see the film. Is there? I'm gonna work on seeing if we can get any sort of early access
to A Star Is Born.
Yeah.
I was looking at the AMC like the listings.
Yeah.
and there is it's A Star Is Born fan event in Dolby Cinema, which I don't really know what. Yeah. So it comes out on Tuesday in Dolby Cinemas. So it comes out early. You can see it on the Tuesday, October 2nd, apparently.
Tuesday, October 2nd?
Yes.
Doesn't it come out the 14th?
It comes out this 5th, I think.
Oh,
Yeah, you can see it 3 days early in Dolby Cinema.
that's amazing. I cannot wait. But yeah, people, all in addition to the Hey memes, shout out to Ken Jack. This will come full circle. He tweeted, this hits on everything we've talked about today. He tweeted, "When Nathan Peterman finally kills me," and it's somebody doing a drive-by shooting and the picture of Lady Gaga looking back all happy.
Yes.
No clue what that means. But I love Ken Jack's Twitter presence. He's so great. He's all over the place.
He's a wild card.
But people are also tweeting whatever their interpretation of what Lady Gaga's singing in that scene. Like, I'm off the deep end, I'm on the demon, whatever. And it's just like all caps that, and it's like a gif of somebody like screaming or singing. I can't
Hell
wait.
yeah.
Yeah.
So for Monday,
Yeah.
we're going to discuss White Boy Rick.
White Boy Rick.
Going to discuss White Boy Rick. I also think we didn't get to it for this episode, but we wanted to discuss the fact that now everybody is trying to cast Superman and
Oh, man, we didn't
and
even get to
Batman.
that.
Do you want to get to it?
Let's go through real quick some of the names that we've seen that were trash. Got to shout out my guy, Bry Guy. He said that Oscar Isaac should play Batman. That is
Absolutely
the
not.
worst movie take I've ever seen in my life. And he knows way more about movies than I do. But I know enough about Oscar Isaac to know that he plays complicated, depressed people.
So I saw,
That's it.
So I saw that you tweeted that, and I don't necessarily think that.
Oh, yeah.
That doesn't fall under Batman. I feel like Batman.
Bruce Wayne is complicated and depressed.
and like he can be moody.
So
and
then
shit
I could
like
play
that.
Batman.
Yeah. I don't think you'd fit in the suit. Not yet. You're not wide enough
That's
yet.
what John Hamm said. He said I'd fit in the suit.
Yeah,
And
well.
that great quote from John Hamm, actually. He said, "I'd probably fit in the suit, you know? I'd have to work out a lot," which I don't love. He is so the everyman.
Yes.
Except hotter.
It would be very distracting to see Batman fighting crime while you just watch John Hamm's
He's got an
dick,
extra-
his mushroom thing, dick print flapping around in the pantsuit.
How do you... So Spider-Man has a web and all that shit. Batman has 3 legs.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice. I also saw Michael B. Jordan floated out as potential Superman.
Yeah.
Which I love Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
I don't want to see him as Superman.
I could definitely see Michael B. Jordan as Superman.
Really?
Just because he's like... honestly, based off his body.
He has a Superman body like naturally.
I don't know that...
He has like the biggest barrel chest.
Yeah.
Like his chest is massive. When you say make DJ wide, Michael B. Jordan is fucking wide. He has super broad shoulders.
Yeah.
He sort of has like a Dwight Howard body.
He was distracting
bigger chest.
in that awkward moment because he plays a doctor, and I'm like, I have
There's
never
no
seen
way.
anybody.
He would be the worst doctor in the world, because if you have that much time to be in the gym,
Yeah.
you are not taking your doctor job seriously.
He is not
enough.
keeping up on medicine. They have
Yes.
changed names to stuff. He is putting the wrong stuff in people.
Yes. But I just don't want to see him as Superman. I have a fear of Michael B. Jordan being sucked into like recurring roles like that.
Yeah.
Just because I want to see where he can go as like an actor who's choosing his projects and stuff, because he's sort of been hit or miss a lot over the past couple of years.
I think that Michael B. Jordan is too handsome to play Superman.
Because Henry
Superman-
Cavill is Superman right now. He's
So
supposed to be.
He's
handsome.
so he's amazing. But other than that, like whenever I envision Superman, it's like a handsome enough kind of
like sort of
guy.
a weatherman-ish.
Right, yes, exactly, weatherman. And if there's one thing we know about Michael B. Jordan, that guy's a fucking fox.
Yeah, and I always thought that Henry Cavill was sort of falling into weatherman territory, but
then
as
Mission
soon
Impossible 2
as soon
happened.
as you put some facial hair on that guy, even if it's a 5 o'clock shadow,
Yeah.
he looks great.
Can Superman have facial hair? Or is it like a New York Yankees kind of deal?
I think that Superman is supposed to be clean cut.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's up for interpretation, I guess. So everything is sort of becoming its own sort of 2018 interpretation at this point. So
Yeah.
I don't necessarily disagree, but I don't think I've ever seen somebody who looks as bad, as relatively bad, as Henry Cavill does clean shaven.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
I usually think that like clean shaven works well for pretty much anybody, and then like maybe they look a little bit better when they get some facial hair.
Yeah.
Henry Cavill doesn't do it for me at all clean shaven, but once he grows anything on his face, he becomes a fucking stud.
Yeah. He's we were talking before about how I want to squeeze in one more Mamma Mia before they take it out of the theaters. But we were like, fuck, we also got to see Mission Impossible 2
Yeah.
again before they take it out of theaters, because I don't know if
Mission
I can go
Impossible 2.
if I can go that many months without fucking seeing that look,
Right.
that stubble, that oh man, he's I think I'm in love with him.